You are now watching your mans in them live.
You are now rocking with your mans in them.
So we were talking about vision, right, in your life, and we were talking about the fact that you did have some type of vision when it came to your wife, right? When it came to when she was your girlfriend. Was
Career
it
too, right?
was it always like that with every point in your life, with every aspect? Like when was it realized that I want to be a doctor, this is the life that I want to pursue? And I know medical school is no joke. You have your ups and downs, you have your, your peaks and valleys. When did you realize that you had a strong vision for that?
Yo, that's a tough question. I think the reality is this. I think every immigrant or kid from poverty knows the feeling that you can't fail. And in my community, you go for the jobs, we don't, it's hard for us to do the other jobs because we don't got moms, we don't have dad's business that we're going to inherit, right? So we go towards the fields that you naturally kind of absorb to, but like learning medicine, it was tough, but it was cool, yo. Like we cut open human bodies as cadavers and we took a bone saw to a skull, took it out, took the brain out, and studied it. You know what I'm saying? Like we learned some wild, and their feet, obviously, and all their toes. Yeah. I took rib cutters and opened up the chest. Like we did nasty things, but what it was like you got to learn, you got to study things to the furthest point, and that's badass. Right?
Jeez.
And then in emergency medicine, I'm like, yo, I've delivered a bunch of babies in the hospital. I delivered babies in the garage, in the parking lot, right? Like I can take care of you from your first day of life to your last day, right? And that's cool. Like that's cool.
I chose architecture.
Architecture.
I do healthcare architecture.
Oh, nice, man. That's awesome, dude. Like I did Brooklyn Tech had majors. I took architecture major, right? So I was actually an architecture major. Yeah, my man. And architecture was sick, right? Because you do strength of materials. You did all these things, all this teams. Oh, yeah. You got to work together, right? You need an electrician, all those guys. I don't know what I missed. You're not an architect.
In high school.
He said, you're not an architect.
It's okay. You could have been something. You could have been something, too. It's okay. It's all right.
You could have been something.
You could have been something.
So Bello,
Oh, man.
That
was fucking funny. You're a funny dude.
That's my guy. That's why I brought him in, man.
All right.
So, jealous. Look at you, jealous.
I see him at work, too.
Yeah. So, well, my question for you is like, are you somewhat painting the picture for yourself, or it's kind of blurry for you right now? Like, what is it like? Because this question came from somewhere.
Yeah.
I just want to know where it came from necessarily. Like, are you looking at your life like?
Why the fuck? Why are you laughing? So basically, it came from a perspective of this, and I think I had this conversation with Gus.
Yeah, because you ain't called me.
Growing up, right? Growing up, I never really had this is what I want to do type of shit. I always had an idea, a sense, but I was more so I take things as they come. So I go here. If I like what I'm doing here, okay, what can I do from here? And then I kind of maneuver like that. Right. I don't want to say that. I ain't no move with the wind.
Moving with the wind sounds passive, right?
Sounds,
you gotta be a little more proactive about that.
You know what else moves? You know what else moves with the wind?
What?
A fart.
You've been a fart all your life.
But as of I feel like the past couple years, I've been more so structuring a vision for the future and what my life is gonna look like as I get older. Because I'm 30. And what is my shit gonna? Don't do that, cause Shake 37.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Me too.
what is my life gonna look like at 40? That's a big thing for me now.
Right.
I
And
got a life philosophy for you, actually.
What's up?
That fits to me. That I think works for me. So you guys remember the game Sims back in the
Yeah.
day? Right?
Yeah,
It's still
yeah.
around, I think, Sim.
I know people who play it still.
Yeah, still, right? So you do those crazy shit. But I remember I had it when I'm a little older than half you guys, right? But I was 10, 11 years old. I'm gonna try to shorten the story. When you play Sims, I remember you can speed through life, right? You can fast forward or you can play it, right? And I was I got a short attention span, 10, 11 years old. And I fast forward and then you're okay, go click, talk to girl, right? And then you're supposed to spin and make a baby. I was oh, I guess that's how it works, But every time you talk to the girl and she wouldn't talk to you. And you're all right, that's weird, right? Why is she never talking to you? And then you go into the house and then I remember there was a fire in the house and then I couldn't, you gotta move the couch to get away from the fire, but you couldn't move the couch. And you realize, what's the point of this game? The point of the game was that you had to pause the game, click the bookcase, read a book. So when you talk to the girl, you have something to say to her. You have to go click on the gym to work out so you can move the couch. It's not about being strong. It's about working towards being strong, working towards being smart. So the toolkit, so that you're ready when that chance comes up. In the same way, personal growth and finding love and everything else, friendships, love, and the job and the boss. You don't got to be the smartest guy, but you should be working towards it. So how do you develop your skills? How do you develop your brain to be ready when that job opportunity comes along, when that beautiful, good partner comes along? That's the way I think about it. I think about, what can I add to my toolkit so I'm ready when I need to use it?
All right, so my question for
That's
that,
great.
Yo,
That's,
you know-
that needs
hey,
some, that needs
you
some,
know-
that's some poetry right there. That needs some snaps.
You know them Instagram reels and TikToks where it's black and white and they got the yellow words at the bottom and say something deep with the music in the background?
I thought you were talking about me and you, no?
Damn right.
yeah,
Damn right.
cookies and cream.
First of all, it's a black.
Yo, that is jokes.
I was gonna ask you, for people with multiple interests,
Yeah.
which gives them, it's hard to make a decision because of
Multiple interests.
Yeah.
Well, first we get hooked on phonics. That's gonna be our first step. Moving on that.
Wait, I said that wrong?
That's all good. It's all good. Let the immigrant correct you. It's all right.
Now I'm offended. What did I say wrong? Let me know.
My interest.
Multiple.
Interest.
Austin, help him out,
Interest.
brother.
What did I say? Interests?
Interests.
Hey, it's your man's in them live. I can do what I
Don't
want.
put it on us. Don't put it on us. Don't put it on
Now we
us.
want to be
No,
correct.
It's just your
Oh, now we
man.
want to be correct.
It's you.
But yeah, when you have multiple interests,
Interests.
how do you what's your advice to help with that? Like,
Trial period.
okay,
I
6
got-
months.
6 months, man. I mean, I think this is until they say Jordan said 10,000 hours, right? Jet Li used to say, I'm more scared of the guy who did one punch 10,000 times than the guy who did one punch 10,000 times.
You just
Right?
said
Huh?
you just said the same thing twice.
10,000.
Yeah.
The guy Jet Li said, I'm more worried about the guy who did one punch 10,000 times than the guy who did
10,000 punches one
once. Right? Be the pro. Like I did a weird ass sport, fencing. Brooklyn Tech had a sport. I fenced privately, like states and all that other shit, and World Cups and whatever. And what it was this: I wanted to be the best. And I didn't I want to be the best at this thing. I wanted to know everything about this thing because otherwise, I used to do other sports, I did gymnastics. Like I did all this other weird shit that like Russian immigrants do. We did like Latin ballroom dancing as kids. It was like a thing that a lot of Russians do.
Okay.
Yeah, no joke. But then I realized, and my coach said to me, he said, you can either be the best fencer at dancing and the best dancer at fencing, or you can try to be the best fencer at fencing. I dropped dancing, I dropped everything. I was like, 6 days a week, 4 hours a day. I'm gonna try to be the best.
So you like pick that one thing
And go
trial
crazy.
period. If you don't like it, or if you don't see nothing,
My
switch.
parents weren't gonna waste that money on me.
Okay.
I was that kid trying to pull up the equipment and shit from like the garbage bin, right? Because for months my parents were like they couldn't invest in it until they knew I was gonna do it. Then once I did it is when I invested. I got a full ride to college for it. Like that's how you get out of a neighborhood, right?
Right.
You get a full ride to a college that was way out of my league.
But okay, so what about people who aren't as confident with making a decision to pick one thing, right? And so it's like I'm good at this, and this, and I look at them equally the same. Still got to pick one.
I don't know, man. Go forward. Do you? You know, if you want to combine your worlds, right? You do your travel. You're a flight attendant now, right? You are learning people skills. You're learning that business when you're doing that job. Am I
Yes,
making that
yes,
up?
yes.
Am I making that up?
No, you're not.
Not
No,
making that up,
yes.
right?
Not at all.
There's a skill set
That
in
is
there.
him.
Yes.
I do have one.
Are you proud? Are you proud? You embrace it, bro. You travel around the world. It's cool. But like, you got a skill set there. Maybe you got to use that skill set in other places, man. People need people, right? People need people who can talk to people. Like you guys are doing this podcast for 5 years now. Like that's cool. Every Wednesday, you guys have a conversation that develops that you share with the world. Like that's a skill set, and you can identify that you're good at that and grow it.
I'm gonna need you to write that down so we can put
Hey
it in
man,
the bio.
you my favorite guest.
I'm in.
My favorite guest.
Yeah,
Man.
definitely.
Stop it.
Rebecca Collins, she says, that's why I had my kid by 7 reading self-help books. Now he's actively having lemonade stands and savings all of his own. Kind of setting children up from young to view their goals and futures. That's a fact. Tammy says hi. She says, hi, Dr. Voitzman. Good to see you on live.
Hi, Tammy.
Hey, Tammy.
She says, she called herself Tammy.
All right.
Oh,
And Rebecca Collins says, financial literacy. So by the age By the age they exiting high school, they know exactly what they want. Shout out to Rebecca, starting the kids early.
I'll tell you,
Shout
man,
out
doing
to
sport is
Rebecca.
wild, dude. Doing sport was wild for me. 9 years of my life I spent to that, and it was like, I still to this day, I have like med school kind of beat out fencing for me. To me, like I put fencing in nice boxes on the, it's on a shelf. I did it, and what it did for me, like to this day, like I remember, like I used to have like you start fencing other people at your level, and you kind of get into their vibe a little bit, and all of a sudden you start losing,
Sorry.
right?
I can't help
Right?
I can't help it.
You get lost, right? You get lost in their vibe, you get rid of the rhythm, and all of a sudden you realize that it's not your rhythm, right? And you need that external perspective. I had like coaches, like, Eugene, get your own style, get back to your style, go back, like move away from him, make that distance, do your own thing, right? And I fenced like 6 days a week, and it was like not because every day was a good day, but I felt like there was gonna be a day where it clicked, and you have to give yourself an opportunity for things to click.
He said, I said something.
You gotta-
I said something there.
gotta
He didn't
show
know what's
up.
going to come.
You gotta show up. You gotta show up.
Nah,
that's
that's-
all.
Hey, yo.
You gotta show up, man. That's all I know. Is like I'll sleep when I'm dead. That's all I know.
Okay.
We the only ones that wear the crown. It's your mans and them.